are older than 25, you should not be stalking and being a little weirdo. There is way too much to do on this earth and to work on yourself to be stalking other people. What you mean? Hi guys, and welcome back to another video on this channel of mine. Did you guys miss me? So I'm not even gonna do like an introduction or like where I've been. I'm gonna save that for the end of the video, sis. Okay, you always know it's somebody from your past that just tries to come back and you're just like, bruh, what you doing here? So this person I met years and years back, you guys. Like, we're talking like I am about to be 27. Okay, so shout out to all my Cancer babies out there.
What's your sign? What it is? I'm a Cancer.
I'm about to be 27. Okay, but between me and you, sis, I'm 25. Okay, I'm 25 still. But anyways, you guys, so I'm about to be 27. So I met this person when I just turned 23. Okay, so that's how many years have passed. Like, sis, I don't know. Anyways, I was 23 and this was a different state of mind. Like, this was a different Lina. Okay, Lina at this point in time at 23, I was newly single. I was like jumping back into like Instagram modeling. This was like when IG modeling was like the shit. Like, you were like, every girl wanted to be an IG baddie. How many followers you have? How many followers? You know, this was my partying time. And when I say partying, don't think like, oh, like she trying to party. No, like my definition of partying was literally me going out to clubs for like club appearances. Now remember, this is the IG model days, so I would do like club appearances. So it would be like, oh, Queen Lina or Lina D is gonna be at, I don't know, like Mezcal. Now if you know, you know. Okay, downtown Riverside is gonna be at like Mezcal on Saturday, the yada yada, right? And then they would like post like, oh, send me a picture. I'd be sending them like a picture like that with the booty all cute, and like they'd be like, do me a little flyer, and they would send it out. I'd be like, oh, post it, you know, yada yada. And I would invite all my girls, all my guy friends, and we would just like be having a good time in the VIP, you know, pick your bottles, and I'd be having my little champagne. So I was doing that, girl. Okay, so not crazy partying, but like I was partying like every weekend. I mean, I was newly single. I was like, whatever, fuck love, like these dudes ain't shit. You know, I was on my city girl shit.
Period.
First night out, you guys. I think this was a day after I was just single. So bad. But again, you know, I didn't give a fuck. I was petty back then. I didn't really care. So it was not a good breakup. Okay, it ended with like him being a dumbass. I was like, oh yeah, like who could play that game? Like, that's how I was back in the day. I don't know. So here is my first time being newly single. I'm petty as fuck. I'm like, okay, like I put it out there, like what clubs was popping, like where should I do a what's it called, like a host. I think it was called like hosting back in the day, like who wants me to host their event, right? And you know, this is a time of club promoters, so like a bunch of club promoters were following me, and of course we're like, oh, come on this night. So then I get hit up by this club promoter, and he's like, oh, come out. I don't even think this club is open anymore. Like, I don't know what it was called. It was years ago, sis, but I don't think it's open anymore. I think it got shut down with COVID. But it was a club in LA or Hollywood. I think it was Hollywood. It was Hollywood. It was by Ripley's, believe it or not, around there. Now, mind you, I didn't really fuck with Hollywood like that. Like, unless it was like for a photo shoot and it was like something really, you know, like a photo shoot with like a well-known photographer, like something big, something worth it, I would go out there. But mind you, I was like in my fuck it, I'm petty, whatever, you know. I wanted to be like, oh, what's my ex doing? Oh, she pop out this clip. You know, I was in one of those vibes. So here I go, my little Honda at the time, okay, I didn't have my sport car. And like, this club promoter had made me a flyer and everything. I posted it. And I'm over here thinking like, yeah. Child, I don't know, things we do when we're young. So here I go, skirt, looking all cute in my little Honda. I'm pull up and I'm like, you know, and I was so crazy that back in the day, like, sometimes when my friends weren't free, or they're like, oh, hey girl, I work, or like, whatever the case was, like, I would go by myself. I would pull up by myself. I didn't give two fucks. Now I wouldn't do that. Okay, nowadays I'm like, I don't trust nobody. Okay, but back in the day, Lina didn't give two fucks. I went everywhere by myself. I didn't care. I didn't need someone there with me. Like, I was like, bitch, I'm the party. And pretty much that's how it was. So there I go, skirt my Honda. I park, and this guy like tells me like, hey, I'm gonna go meet you in the parking garage, and then I'm gonna walk you in. I'm like, okay, cool. And the way it was set up was like the club was here and the parking garage was here, so he just had to walk across the street. So he's like, hey, like, how much was the parking? I want to say it was like, what, like $8, something like that. He's like, here you go, like, I got you. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, hey, I'm gonna walk you in. And one thing I do not do, baby, I don't wait in lines. So I was like, skirt. I was like, yeah, let's walk in. And I'm over here looking at her and waiting in line like, and I'm over here like, I'm the host. So I go in with homeboy, and like I said, I hadn't officially met him, but I've like seen him all over Instagram and all that. And he introduces himself, and I'm like, okay, cool. And he tells me like, hey, like, you know, my job is to make you feel comfortable. Like, so he's like, okay, my girls are coming, you know, they're like just around the corner. I'm like, okay, cool, chill. He's like, what do you want to drink? Like, let me get the bottles flowing. Like, you know, let's get you a little buzz, all that. And this guy was genuinely a good freaking guy. So, child, this boy, this dude, okay, didn't look like a creeper at first. He didn't look like aggressive or anything, okay? You know, club promoters usually have like the chains on, they look like this, and all, they're a little scary sometimes.
Yo, fool, we about to have some hardcore drama go down right about now. That's what I'm talking about. We get ours.
Okay, he didn't look like that, okay? He looked like just calm, regular guy. But hold on, okay? Because he turned creeper.
Why so serious?
So he's making sure that I'm good. He's making sure that I'm comfortable. And his girl, sure enough, his girls show up, and it's two best friends. I'm like, hey. And this is time, like I said, I was a social butterfly. Like, I went everywhere by myself. Like, I didn't care. I could become friends with anybody like this. So I was like, hey girls, like, let's do shots. And like, we like were like the best of friends that night. Like, I don't know, that's just how I am. So we're all dancing, we're all taking drinks, everything's cool, right? And again, he's making sure I'm feeling comfortable, like everything's good. This is the thing, okay? I have never ever gotten blackout drunk. I've seen other people. I don't think I want to do that, you know? I don't want it to be like, oh, Lina's slipping on the floor or, oh, Lina's slipping on the dance floor. Like, I've seen all kinds of situations where people are sleeping in the most random places, or people are sleeping, we go outside the club, people are sleeping on the floor, and I'm like, huh? Or people are like screaming, yelling, their shirts, their dresses are like here, the bras showing, they got one heel on, the other one they're swinging it. Like, no thank you, just no thank you. But like, to say I got like drunk would be that time and that time only, because sis, I thought I was superwoman, okay? I thought I was superwoman, and I thought that I could just pound the drinks. But I will say this, I had a high tolerance. So here I am with the girls, okay, and we were taking shot to shot. We finished the Ciroc. Ciroc was my poison back in the day. So we finished the Ciroc, and one of the girls opens, I couldn't even tell you, like, I couldn't tell you what kind of tequila it was, but there we go, we're doing shots. And I'm still feeling good. Like, I didn't feel sick at any point in time, at this point in time. Like, me and the girls were still dancing, this and this. And for the first time ever, I say Into the Club is like closed. And for the first time ever, I learned of after hours. So I'm like, what you mean? Like, after hours? Like, what you mean? Like, we still have our own little party after everyone else leaves? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, I'm still having a good time. And the girls leave, and we're like, okay, bye. Like, text me with your Instagram, with your Snapchat. Like, we share all our info, and we're like, bye, girl, give him a hug, bye, girl, you know. And my BFFs for the night leave. It's just me and him. Now again, he's not being creeper, he's not like, he was literally like not drinking, like he would take like a shot here and there, but like he was making sure, not just me but with the girls too, like, hey, is everyone good? Like, and there was other girls too, like we all those girls were just BFFs for the night. And even the guys were like, hey, do you want me to pour you a shot? Like, hey, do you want to come here? Like, I could, like, hey, do you want to come up on the couch? Like, I can move on the side. Like, everyone was just so fucking sweet. And again, like, I'm like, ooh, after hours. So like at this point in time, like the confetti is already blown out. Like if you know, like in the clubs, like they towards the end they like throw confetti and shit. So there's people like sweeping the confetti, and they play, like the DJ's playing like a couple more. He's like, okay, like for the next 30 minutes is after hours. So I'm like, oh hell yeah. So I get the guy, and I love to dance, and I'm just dancing to Spanish music. Okay, so they play a little bit of Mente, Bésame, te quiero sentir tus labios, besándome suave. Anyway, so they play that song, and I'm like, hey, like dance with me. He's like, no, like I'm shy. I'm like, nah, dance with me. And we're dancing, having a good time. I'm still not feeling sick. I'm still like on a good one, you know. I feel a little bit buzzed, but girl, I don't know if it was during the suavemente. I don't know if he spun me a little too much, but I don't feel sick until just a little bit, okay? Little bit. So he walks me to the parking structure, and it's funny because he's like, oh, where'd you park? And I park at the top, and I never ever park at the bottom. I'm always that bitch. I don't care how much I have to walk. I will park at the top, okay? Away from everybody. Cause yeah. So he's like, oh, what a coincidence, me too. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like, where's your car? And he's like, well, where's yours? And I'm like, it's that way on the right there. And he's like, oh, well, I'm the car next to it. And I'm like, oh shit, cool. Now at this point in time, I'm feeling sick now. I'm like, oof. And I never felt like this. And I'm just like, damn. And usually the way like me and my best friend at the time would do is like after we drink, like, and we felt like our limit, like maybe 2 hours to an hour before we were supposed to go home, whether that was in an Uber or like a friend was supposed to pick us up, or like someone else that didn't drink was supposed to pick us up, we would start drinking water. We go to the bar, ask for water, and start like, you know, like sobering up. I didn't do that this time because I didn't give a fuck. So here I am, and I tell him like, thank you so much, like, you know, to be honest with you, like I'm going through a breakup, yada yada. Like I just vented this guy, and this guy's listening to me. He's doing one of these like, it's okay, like I know you need this night, you had so much fun. And he's like, I was keeping an eye on you, that like no guys like went in while you girls were dancing. Like I'm so glad, like this is what being a promoter is all about, like just you enjoying life, having fun, like fuck that guy, yada yada. And I'm like, are you right? But anyways, yeah, so he wasn't being weird. Now this is the thing. I felt sick. Okay. So somewhere in my mind, okay, so I became notorious for something so bad. I'm like outing myself. This is so bad. Okay, so like so bad. Okay, so this is the thing, y'all. Growing up, side note, I promise you this will go in the story. Like it will go into the story. My mama, okay, wasn't like my mama. My mama was like my older sister. I never saw her as mom. I always seen her as my homegirl, my older sister. Like, you know, we fight like older sister, older and like middle sister type of older, little, whatever you want to call it. Like we love like older little sister, like just that, but that's what we give off. You know, I'm over here telling her like, don't trip. She's telling me like, don't trip. Like we don't have this awkward mom daughter, like anyways. So my mama, and I don't know if she's joking or not, or I don't know, so don't take it to heart, y'all. But like my mama back in the day, when she talking about her high school days, she would be like, look, like I was not okay doing that thing, and you know I followed her footsteps with that. But she did have a thing where she was like, hey, first of all, you know, we ain't okay? Ain't no one gonna have the key to the candy store. But ain't nothing wrong with scamming and jamming. And I'm like, scamming and jamming? What's that? Right? And this is back in the 90s, sis. Now, scamming and jamming, if you don't know, scamming and jamming means you do a little scam, then you jam, okay? So what that means in our terms is like, she said she would kiss guys, maybe make out a little bit, and then jam, scam and jam. And I'm like, oh, say less, sis. So at this time, I was scamming and jamming, okay? And this was victim number 1. There was plenty of victims after that where I would just like scam and jam. You wouldn't get my number, you wouldn't get my Instagram, like you wouldn't even get the key to the candy store, but like you would get a, and then I'd be like, okay, bye. And then like I would hear through the grapevine that like, oh, what happened to a girl? Like it just works, okay? It just works. So here I am, like newly single, and her words are playing in my head. I'm like, fuck it, like I'm newly single, I gotta proclaim my singleness, so I'm gonna scam and jam. Maybe it's the way I looked at him, I don't know. I mean, it was kind of like, like that, and I was like that, little. And I used to say some corny ass shit. So like when I would scam and jam a dude, I would be like, like my mom, the way she would do it, like she told me, is she's like, I would look at their lips and look at their eyes, and then look at their lips, and then go like that, and I'm like, oh, same. So I did one of those, and he's looking at me. And I always say so bad. I always say like, damn. And the guys are all like, what? Whoa. And I'm like, I really want to kiss you right now, but I don't know if I should. You gotta use that raspy voice. It's gonna be like, I really want to kiss you right now, but I don't know if I should. Like, And this guy has been nothing but a sweetheart to me. At that moment, he's like, well, you should. And he grabs me on the waist, and we do a little scam and jam. Now this is the thing, girl, like I said, I had tequila.
Hold up.
Well, sis, this is the thing, like I said, he was spinning me, and I don't know, the tequila just was like, bitch, ejecto, cuz because it was not pretty. He was there, and I can't say that I was embarrassed. I think I was just like, I've never been like one of those people that just get embarrassed. I'm one of those people that I'm like, damn, like, damn, that sucks. So after that, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so sorry, like nothing gets on him or anything, but he does one of these. And that's how I was like, damn, you're sweet. So as I'm like doing my thing, he does one of these. I had my hair down, obviously, because I went out. And he's like, he comes to the side, and he's like holding my hair, and he's like rubbing my back. He's like, you're gonna be fine, you're gonna be good, you're gonna be fine. I'm like, so yeah, so he's like, you're gonna be fine, you're gonna be good, like, hey, like, I got you, like, I think I got some Powerades in my car, I'll be right back. So yeah, he goes into some Powerades, and he's like, everything, like, are you good, this, and I'm feeling much better, sis. And like, he's just taking care of me. So I'm like, damn, Scam and Jam really did a number on you. And yeah, you guys, I sober up, I leave, I text him like, hey, I'm good, yada yada, everything's fine for now. Now at this point in time, like, I was single for a cool minute, and he like hits me up here and there, and like, not in a dating way, but it's more like, hey, how are you, like, would you want to like come to this new event, yada yada, whatever. And our paths never cross until later on, and at this point in time, I'm already dating somebody new, and I had gotten invited to that same club by a different promoter. So me and my new boo, we show up, yada yada. We were like, this is boring, we decide to leave. And then all of a sudden, that same promoter is like, he DMs me, And I get to learn, I open it, it's like, hey, like, were you at this club, like the club before, yada yada, like I think I saw you. I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm here with my man. It's like, okay, cool, like let me get you. And I told him like, hey, you know, we came with this promoter, like it was boring, like bottles were taking too long to come out. He's like, hey, like, you know, I know you like your Ciroc, like I happen to have, and promoters just be having like the most random shit in their cars. So he's like, hey, like I have, I think it was like vanilla Ciroc or coconut, one of those things, which either and or sis, I love me some Ciroc as long as it's flavored. And I tell my man at the time, like, hey, like he, you know, he has a bottle for us. And he's like, okay, cool, run it. I'm like, okay, cool. So I like walk towards him. I leave my man's in the car. And I'm like, hey, it's like, hi, it's this. Now, mind you, it's just a scam and jam. I don't think it's a big deal. Obviously, like, my boo already knew the story. So he's like, is that your man? And I'm like, yeah, that's my new man. He's like, okay, make sure he treats you good. I'm like, he is. He's like, okay, good. Here's the bottle. Again, I'm so sorry. Like, let me, you know, let's do a like rain check. Let me take you guys out, type of thing, since the situation didn't work. Like, let me have you guys come out next time. Like, I got you guys on bottle, yada yada. I'm like, okay, cool. Again, I'm not thinking shit until it's like, I don't know what he did or what he said, sis, but he must have said something that made me mad, okay? Because I'm a quick blocker. I don't be putting up with people's shit on social media. I don't understand this bullying shit or this weird, like, having, like, even guys being like, oh, what's up, ma? Let me yada yada with you and yada yada. And like, don't be sending me no stupid DMs. If you can't say it to my face, but you want to be like, yeah, I could do this and that and yada yada, it's like, you're weird. Block. So I don't know if he must have said something about like the guy I was dating at the time, or it was like, I don't know, sis. I don't know, but he must have made me upset because I blocked him. And then I noticed that like he had a second account. He added me. He's like, hey, what's up, this and this. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I think I responded something like, oh, like, you didn't understand when I blocked you. Get it through your head. And then another block. Fast forward, I now have a Instagram for my sport car. And I think I like announced it somewhere in my like model personal page. And this is a time where I had both my Instagrams public. This one had like most of my social media accounts like public to like get business with modeling, yada yada, versus now I have on private, sis, because I just do. So back in the day, like I said, I had myself public. So I announced it on my personal modeling page, which that's the page that he originally followed me on, about my car page. He's only blocked on my personal original page. Now I get a message from him on my car page, and again, that one's public too. So it's like, oh, hey, what's up? Like, oh my gosh, nice car, yada yada, blah blah blah. And I'm like, what the bit? I don't think I respond. I think I just like block, and I'm like, get it through your head. Like, you already tried this 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Like, obviously I'm in a long-term relationship. Like, my dude, it's a little weird. Like, it was just a scam and jam. Like, I don't know if no girl's ever not done that to you. Be like, it's this, I don't know what. Okay, but like, this dude, it seemed like he can't get me out of his mind. And again, let's flash forward. I was 23 at the time that I met him. And I was dating this dude for I think like 2, almost 3 years. So fast forward years, like, do you guys see how much time? And it's just like so odd. So there's that, sis. I don't think anything of it. Now couple of days ago, I'm minding my P's and Q's. Okay, again, my social media is not public, so I'm a little confused if homeboy made a fake account and I just didn't spot it or what. Okay, but I announced on my personal modeling page, the original page, not the car one, the original one, I announced on there like, hey, you know, you guys can now use this website to talk to me, yada yada. Why do I click on that website to see, okay, who added me on here, you know? Because I don't be answering my DM. So that's why I have another website where you can exclusively talk to me, okay? So tell me why when I announced that, like, hey guys, if you don't know, like, you guys can talk to me on here, why do I see the people? I'm like, okay, like, I know this person, I know this person, and then I see his name. And the funny thing about these, like, there is always, I've always said this, stalkers always have patterns, and that is the easiest way to get them. This guy has a weird pattern of using his first name, middle initial, and last name. So it's like Jacob L. Ortiz. That's not his real name, sis, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. So it's like that. And for every single account, he has used that name. So as soon as I see the name, and like, this boy did not hide nothing. Use the full name, use his picture. I click on the, like, his account, because you, in order to, you know, talk to me, you have to make your own account on there. And I click his account, and it's like IG bio, his how old he is, and it's like content creator. Like, he full on made a bio, and this is not normal because people don't usually do a bio on their accounts for this website. People don't post their pictures. People, like, it's just weird. And I'm like, damn, like, you really went all out for me to know who you are. And there's already a message, and I'm like, shit. Okay, I'm like, some time has passed. He's a little creeper. Benefit of the doubt. Let me just see what he wants. So I see the message, and it's like, hey, I miss you. Which I'm like, sir, I haven't seen you since I was 24? 24? 24. Pretty sure 24. So it's like, hey, I miss you. I'm always going to be a supporter. And do you remember me? And I'm like, child, it's the creeper. It's the damn creeper. Again, give me the benefit of the doubt, because I'm like, you know what? Let me just see what he wants. I was like, yeah, I remember you. And I wait. And I was like, yeah, it's been years. And I'm like, yes, it has been. So what's good? Like, what you want? And weirdest conversation, you know, those people that they just don't seem like they're right in the mind. So when I was like, oh, like, what's good? Like, what's good, sis? What you want? And then it's like, you know, I just know it's been years, and I would like to hear your stories and see like what happened throughout the years. Like, you know, come out, I'm running my own events, which he already was, so I don't know what he meant by that, but it's like, I'm running my own events, like, come clubbing. Child, I'm too old to be clubbing. That is not how you get me outside this house. So there was that, and I told him, like, I don't do that. Like, I don't be doing that. I was like, clubbing's a waste of time. I don't be wasting my time. And then it was like, socialize, LOL. Socialize. Sweetheart. So I'm over here like, I need a break from socialize. Like, that's how you socialize. So after that, it was like, oh, well, you know, I create content too. Let's create like this. I'm like, you got a car? What's good? What kind of car you got? But it's like, oh, like, well, you know, I could take pictures of my car. What's good? Like, but what do you want? And then, like I said, it goes back to like, he was like, oh, well, I just want to know like what happened like throughout the years. I want to like touch base with you. Like, last time I heard from you, you're going to school for psychology. And I'm like, years ago. He's like, did you ever finish? Did I ever finish school? Did I ever finish school? Years ago. People be wasting my time. Did I finish school? That's exactly what I meant by years have gone by. Like, I'm trying to just understand, like, why would I waste my time sitting around talking to somebody about, oh yeah, so like this happened and this happened, this happened. If you want to know what happened, you should have been there. And if you weren't there, there's a reason why you weren't there. If you don't have access to me now, there's a reason, homie. There's a reason.
All these things are happening and you're still concerned with me? You're still concerned with me? You're still concerned with me? I don't understand.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. I'm like, are people really that stupid nowadays? Are people really that dumb? And that's why I really am adamant that I'm like, no, if you are cut off, you're cut off and you're left there because they...
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Idiot sandwich!
So, anyways, it goes from that to he was like, oh, I finished school. To be honest, I don't even remember him going to school. I thought like club promoting was like his thing, and like that was it. I don't remember the full going to school. So I was at this point, I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck to say. So I'm like, congrats. I just put it out there like, congrats, little thumbs up, congrats. And he was like, what did he say? He was like, that was years ago, LOL.
Hilarious.
I can't. So I'm like, did you just add this website to just talk to me? And then I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of playing games. We're grown. At this point in time, let me tell you. Let me tell you. If you're, sweetheart, if you're past the age of 25, you should not be, okay, stalking your exes. I don't care who they're dating. I don't care what they're doing. I don't care if you're bored, you're sad. Do not stalk your exes. Okay, they died. Rest in peace. Okay, they dead. They died. Don't stalk your exes. It's fucking weird at this age. Do not stalk your man's exes. Whoever should I say, when you're dating somebody new, do not stalk their exes, okay? We're not gonna play, I'm prettier, I'm better. He dated her and he dated you. He's dating you now. Get over it. Vice versa with the guys, okay? Another thing. Social media shit is fucking weird. The bullying shit. If you're bullying someone and leaving comments and you're past the age of 25, something's wrong with you. Okay? You got some inner hurt. Okay? You need to go see a therapist, psychologist, therapist. See a therapist. Lastly, why are you going back to people from your past and being like, hey, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't do it. It's common sense. Okay, go see a therapist. Everything, go see a therapist. Okay. They will bug you and bug you and bug you. And I promise you, the minute you give these dudes that are like that, okay, they're trying to bang down the door, like, hey, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. As soon as you like open that little slot hole, you're like, yeah, what you want? What you want? Then it's like, slam that shit. It's like, okay, like, what you mean? You've been bugging me for years. When I'm dating someone, when I'm not dating someone, whatever the case is, I give you the floor. I'm like, okay, what's good? What you want? And the only thing you have to tell me is, yeah, like, I want to know, like, what you've been up to throughout these years.
Like, I don't like that. Like, I don't like it, okay?
So, you guys, it's something where I'm like, no, you've been a little weirdo since 23 till now, and that's all you gotta say. I straight up told him, in all seriousness, I should have told him, look, I don't know what you think, but clearly by you being blocked by multiple accounts that you try to make, that should be your sign that I want nothing to do with you. You're being a stalker. Now, if you continue this stalker behavior, you continue to harass me how you've been doing throughout these years since I've met you in 2016 till now, because you know you got, I will be I will be filing a restraining order. Do you understand? And with that, black, and I'm done, sis. And I hope you got the memo. I really do. Because at this point in time, I am too old to be stalked on social media. What you mean? Ain't nobody got time. Anybody got time for fake accounts? Like I said, if you are older than 25, you should not be stalking and being a little weirdo. There is way too much to do on this earth and to work on yourself to be stalking other people. What you mean? So I set my boundaries. I did. I set my boundaries. So in conclusion, y'all, In conclusion, dudes be weird. People be weird. I'm gonna change that because I did have a girl that was a stalker. People be weird. And in conclusion, y'all, don't be putting up with nobody's weirdness. Your issues are not my issues, boo-boo. You go see a therapist. Say it with me. Go see a therapist. And you know what? I might make some merch that says, go see a therapist. Cause go see a therapist. If people just minded their P's and Q's and went to go see a therapist, things would be better. Go see a therapist. But anyways, guys, that is my story, and I want to leave you off with this. Never, ever, ever, ever be afraid to establish boundaries, whether it's a guy stalking you, a girl stalking you, or just people just that you cut off and they keep. Don't put up with that shit. Do not put up with that shit. Because even then, I was like, am I really gonna have to do this? Am I gonna have to do this? I'm gonna have to do this for my safety, because I've already had a stalker before. I'm not about to have one again. Like, we ain't gonna go down this road, because that was a girl stalker. At least with a girl, it's like, okay, you can kind of see where, I can kind of see, like, how to put it, her moves before she did. I'm like, okay, she's gonna do this, she's gonna do that. And every time she had a pattern, like I said, stalkers have patterns. And with her child, it was so easy. I was able to see, like, okay, this, and this. With a guy, I don't know how guys' minds work. They're crazy. They're crazy. Okay. So whether or not it's a guy or girl stalking you, or just bugging you, or just being hella fucking weird, do not be shy about putting your boundaries, because people are weird. People are weird. And it's crazy, because all I can say is that I think the reaction of me not posting on social media and keeping things just private, I feel like that kind of riled him up to the point that it's like, I just need to talk to her directly, because I'm not watching her life. Maybe back when I was really into social media, that was like really my jam, maybe then he was being satisfied, because remember, there are weirdos out there. Maybe he was being satisfied, but like, yeah, okay, I see what she's doing. What'd she do today? Okay, it's satisfying the craving he may have for whatever it may be, being a little weirdo. But now it's like hardly posting, everything's private, everything's like, you know. So I think that's why it got to the point he's like, I just need to talk to her straight out. And that's why he became a little weirdo and wanted to do that. And it's like, nah, girl, Lina don't play no games, okay? I mean, how you want to do this, boo? How you want to do this? Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe, because I think I'm just gonna have to come back on YouTube channel. I think I'm just gonna have to come back, okay? Now, I'm gonna go ahead and say some little announcements if you want to stick for it, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and actually like announce certain stuff. So anyways, if you guys are interested in my car Instagram, I'm gonna put it somewhere here. If you're interested in my TikTok, because girl, that's partly why I haven't been on YouTube, because I've had so much fun with TikTok, and I feel like that's like, so I got bored with YouTube, so I'm doing TikTok. So if you're interested in my car TikTok, my little sport car TikTok, here. If you guys are interested in foodie TikToks, okay, because a girl loves to eat, okay, listed here. Now, if you guys are interested in like aesthetic, lifestyle, girly, all this, you know, perfume, heels, you know, the Versace, the Dior, the clothes, darling, the aesthetic, TikTok listed here. Now, if you guys want some motivation, okay, you're like, motivate me, Lina, I need some boss videos, I need, you know, some motivation, whatever the case may be, I got you listed here. I want to say that's all my TikToks for now. But anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for waiting for the end of this video for my little announcements, and I will see you guys on my next one. Bye, you guys. Stay safe. Don't let the creepers be creeping.
It's messy, but not what we